returns with NASCAR at North Wilkesboro. That's something new. What's not new, Kyle Larson once again whooping the entire field, leading all but 50 laps on his way to victory for his third career All-Star race win, and his third time. All of his wins have all come at different racetracks. One Charlotte, Texas, and now at North Wilkesboro. And NASCAR this weekend at North Wilkesboro, I will say this: amazing action, entertainment. It was an incredible shot in the arm, nostalgic weekend. Even though I was never born when NASCAR raced at North Wilkesboro, it was cool to go back to a historic racetrack, come back from the dead, revitalize. It looked really, really good. The crowd was amazing all weekend long. And the truck race last night, very entertaining to watch. And while the Cup race proved two things. Number one, Kyle Larson is just, oh my God, he's just on another level. And number two, we still got a lot of work to do with the short track package. With next year being unknown about whether or not NASCAR will have a points race at North Wilkesboro, if they do, I highly encourage we bring the Xfinity Series. Please bring the Xfinity Series to North Wilkesboro, because I know it will produce a race of the year guaranteed. But yeah, Kyle Larson just straight up murdered the field. I mean, he started, I believe, in mid-pack. Then on lap 14, a caution came out when Ricky Stenhouse Jr. spun off of turn number 4 after contact with another driver. Then Larson got a speeding penalty, started at the back, drove his way up towards the front, and took the lead by lap 55 and didn't look back since. Here's a look at the results. Kyle Larson wins second and third place. 2311 Racing, Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick. Chase Briscoe, whose car came to life near the last handful of laps in that race, was one of, if not the fastest car on the racetrack, but was too far behind to do anything. Chase Elliott in 5th. Ryan Blaney, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, Ty Gibbs, and Joe Logano the top 10. Then Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Josh Berry, Chris Buescher, Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, William Byron, Austin Cindric, Kyle Busch, Noah Gragson, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Rounds out the 24-car field. Now, the All-Star Open was much more entertaining in terms of action and moments that took place. There was a moment between Ty Gibbs and Michael McDowell. Ty Gibbs led the race for majority of the race early in the All-Star Open. Then we had a crash take place in turns 1 and 2 when Noah Gragson hit the pit lane wall on the inside, bounces back up, collects 3 or 4 cars in the process. 2 of them were out of the race. And then in the following restart, Ty Gibbs gets into the back end of Michael McDowell. Then Michael McDowell hits Justin Haley. Haley and McDowell both spin and go into the wall. And then we saw McDowell on a mission, so to speak, to get back at Ty Gibbs. And he kind of got him. Was able to sideswipe him a little bit, entering 3 and 4, allowed Josh Berry to take the lead. But still, outside of that, McDowell didn't really do anything. Berry won the Open. Gibbs finished in second. And Gragson, even though he had a damaged race car, still won the fan vote, even though I thought it was stupid because, yeah, he won the fan vote, but his car was not going to win, or at the very least, not even going to be competitive. So it was a wasted spot. But anyways, that was just me. But the All-Star Open had some moments, but in the All-Star race, it also had moments. There was a lot of passing. We saw drivers like Larson, Bubba, Reddick, and I believe 2 other drivers that did pit on that lap 14 incident, or around that lap 14 incident, drive their way up towards the field. So you saw a lot of passing, you saw a lot of beating and banging. Once again, Fox didn't show a lot of it. They showed a lot of either zoomed in cars or just one car on the field while there was passing taking place. It wasn't the worst All-Star race. I thought it was pretty entertaining, the tire fall off and the passing that was taking place in the middle of the field when Fox actually showed it. But there is still a problem that needs to be addressed with NASCAR's next-gen car in the short track package. Again, the truck race, I know we shouldn't go by cautions to determine whether a race is good or not, or at the very least entertaining. The trucks race had 12 cautions, and I believe around the same amount of laps. I think 250 laps, I think it had. It's not the track, it's the car. Again, and that's why I desperately want to see the Xfinity Series race at this track, because I know it will produce a race of the year. Now, next year, more than likely, Wilkesboro will be repaved, or at the very least, have some years taken off of it. I find it very difficult to believe that Wilkesboro will come back in its original shape for 2024 if NASCAR does hold a points race. But if NASCAR does come back a points race, I'd be very interested to see, because having, let's say, a 400 lap race compared to a 200 lap race will completely change the game in terms of how much tire fall off that will take place there. So I'm very interested for that. But NASCAR got to do something with this short track package, because even though it's made improvements this year compared to last year, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And for Kyle Larson, even though it's an all-star race, it's not a points-paying race, that 5 car, they've been on it. Even though at Kansas, that he was caught up in a wreck, I mean, he was still in contention to win. I'm not saying that Larson's a championship favorite, but he is showing a lot of speed that you could, at the very least, circle him as a driver that could potentially be in contention to be in the Final Four at Phoenix in November. Him and Cliff Daniels, they were on it last night. They were more than on it. They whooped the whole damn field tonight. Let's look at some other drivers, though. I look at 2311 Racing. Bubba Wallace started in 10th place, fell back a little bit, fell back as far as 20th because he started on the outside lane, and then with those new tires, drove his way up to 2nd place and was able to stay there for the entirety of the race. The last 3 or 4 weeks, that 23 car, they've been on it. 2nd tonight, the last weekend at Darlington, 5th, week before that, 4th at Kansas, or 3rd or 4th at Kansas. They've been on it these past few weeks. And on top of that, next weekend, they're going to Charlotte. They ran really good there in the Coke 600 before that DVP controversy over there. But those are really my only takeaways. The 5 car, I mean, they could be on a hot streak heading into the summer, but I look at also the 23 car as a sleeper because they have also been gaining a lot of momentum these past few weeks, as well as 2311 Racing with Reddick finishing right behind in 3rd. That short track package needs to be overhauled. There still needs to be some updates with that. And also with North Wilkesboro, great weekend, fantastic crowd. It was a much better all-star race than last year for sure. And I would totally be 100% behind Wilkesboro hosting another all-star race next year. It's just that short track package. We got to work on that. That's it for this episode of MDK Racing Victory Stop. What are your thoughts on the race? Let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time, my name is Jett from MDK. Thank you so much for watching. Congratulations to Kyle Larson, your winner at North Wilkesboro.